Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here. Today we're going to be talking about the Vikings Civ again, and not only are we going to be talking about it, but we are going to be testing the Viking civilization versus all the other infantry civilizations in the game. That's right, we're going Viking versus Japan, Viking versus France, and Viking versus Rome. We're going to see which Civ and their correlating special units are superior on the battlefield, 1 versus 1. Obviously, this isn't a real-life test because there's a dozen other factors that you would need to apply to make it a true test, but there's no other way to really do this other than 1 versus 1. We've done this in the past with the other infantry civilizations against each other already, and now that we have the Viking Civ, let's complete our infantry civilization Battle of the Civilization series for infantry. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is these battle reports are kind of telling. I made it as equal as possible. All the buffs are equal. There's no talents. There's no gear. There's no extra kingdom buffs. Everything is equal. Everything is exactly the way it needs to be. I've tested it all so that you have the best and the most accurate data that you need in this game to choose which Civ is best for you. And I gotta tell you, let's go take a look at the actual testing portion of this, and I think you'll be surprised. All right, so first off, we're going to start with Viking versus France. And I started out with City Keeper versus City Keeper. And we're speeding this up obviously, because it's going to take a little while. I don't want you to have to sit there and watch us mash each other into the ground. But this is France versus Vikings. So you're talking throwing axemen versus Viking berserkers. And look at this. Vikings win against France. So that means plus 5% attack, plus 3% counterattack damage is greater than the 3% health bonus you get. And not to mention, I've noticed, and this is on multiple different testings, that France's rage generation is just a little faster. It just goes off faster, and it also gets better as we go. Now, this is round 2, same Viking versus France, but I've switched us to Lubu. These are both level 1, skill level 1 Lubus. And again, we're doing the same test over again, but with 50,000 troops each. And we're going down to about half health and breaking it off at the same time. Again, Vikings are winning. I wanted to give you a little bit more skill damage involved with the testing that we did. But again, looking at that, Vikings win. Now, this is going to be Viking versus Rome. Now, we would all think, obviously, I mean, Rome is the king of the hill, right? Rome is the king, the cream of the crop. Well, let's go through here and let's see who is going to win. Vikings win, although it is a little closer than the last one. I think it's a little closer than the last one. That was Vikings versus Legionnaires. Now we're jumping into Vikings versus Japan, the Berserkers versus the Samurai. Two of the best looking special units in the game, in my opinion. And here we go. So just about to wrap up the battle here. Let's take a look at the battle report. Vikings win again, and this one's even better for the Vikings. So let's summarize kind of what we just saw there, and let's make some predictions on this civilization as to when and how it should be used, now knowing that the Viking civilization is now superior to all 3 other infantry civilizations in the game. Let's make some assumptions on why that is, and then let's also talk about what we can do with that knowledge. So if we look at the other civs, so Japan, you've got a plus 3% troop attack for all troop types, so that's something to take into account. If you're going to have more than just infantry out on the field, there is an added benefit to the 3% without it just being infantry, okay? But the other 2 buffs from Japan are both march speed for scouts, which who the F cares, and resource gathering speed 5%, which is nice, but who the F cares when it comes to battles. Now, when we go over to Rome, let's go to Rome. We have a really, really good infantry defense buff of 5% for the Legionnaires, but again, no other battle stat. March speed is considered kind of a PvP stat, but it's just movement speed. And we did some testing on that 5% as well, guys. And I gotta tell you, unless you're traveling a super long distance, you're not gonna notice the difference between that 5% troop march speed and not having it. Well, I'll show you that on the next video, because I'm gonna tease you guys for tomorrow's video, another test I did with the Viking civilization. It's gonna be a little rough for you guys to watch, because it was rough for me to do the test on it. So again, only one battle stat for Rome here. And then when we go over to France, same thing, 3% troop health, just like Japan. It is applicable to all troop types. So if you're using multiple troop types on the field, that's not bad. You're going to get more benefit from it than just the 3% for the infantry health. But again, that's it. You got wood gathering speed and you got hospital healing speed, which again are not really battle-based statistics. Now, when we look at the Viking Civ, you get your infantry attack at 5%, which attack is not usually considered to be the best stat to have or being added to your troops. But when you combine that with a second battle stat, counterattack damage plus 3%, you start to see how that could maybe make these results make more sense. So traditionally, if you went 5% attack versus 5% defense on something versus the Rome Legionnaires, the Legionnaires should win. Defense has been definitively proven, no pun intended, to outrank the attack stat. The difference is you've got a second battle buff for Vikings, counterattack damage, and this counterattack damage buff, this is a post formula damage, guys. So you have to understand the difference between stats and damage types. So similarly to Ottoman, which is going to be the teaser, they have a 5% skill damage bonus. This is not a 5% attack for skill damage bonus where it goes into a formula that Rock has in their systems and it poops out a random number that goes towards your enemy as skill damage. No, this is an actual buff to an end game number in the game. So that white number that floats above your target's head is a combination of normal attack damage and counterattack damage numbers combined every single second. And this buff here, this 3% buff, increases the counterattack portion of that by 3%. And we also know that there is a link between normal attack and counterattack damage bonuses. So there may be a little bit of an extra bonus on top of this, just the 3% that we don't even know about from a formula standpoint. So all this being said, the idea behind the results that we've seen is that this is going to win against all other infantry civs, and it just did. We just showed you, because of the double battle buffs that you get from the actual civ, making this civ the most robust on the field fighting infantry civilization in the game so far. Why would we use this? Where would we use this? Well, I think personally, this really starts to replace anybody that is heavy infantry focused. If you are going to be going heavy into just 3+ marches of infantry on the field, you've got your Guan Leo, you've got your Charles YSG, you've got Harold in there, Charles Harold if you want to. That's a great secondary combo there. You also have Richard Alex, you can do Alex YSG. All of those paired together with this type of buff makes it absolutely crazy. I also think that this is going to be one of the best civilizations for garrison and rally commanders as well, because counterattack damage is a big deal. If you're getting swarmed, that's a ton of damage going out extra, and it's only exponentially better the more you're getting swarmed. And then of course the attack bonus itself, if you're using infantry on top of that. Can somebody say Zenobia YSS with Viking Civ? I can say that. I'm pretty confident to say that. So I personally think Viking Civilization is, now that we've tested it, right? Because we looked at it and we're like, Jesus, what the hell is this? Troop load? What the hell? But now that we've tested it, Viking Civ is going to be actually one of the top civs in the game to be using now. And I'm going to go ahead and tease you for tomorrow's video. I tested the Viking Civ versus the Ottomans Civ with all 3 troop types. So infantry, cav, and archers. And the results might be shocking to you. So I'm going to tease that for you for tomorrow's video. I hope you've enjoyed this video, definitively proving that Viking Civ is now the superior Civ in the infantry family in Rise of Kingdoms. So, hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Have a good one, and take care.